So today I'd like to show you how user-friendly data visualization actually is. In this video I'm going to explore a company's sales revenue for a 4-year period and tell a story of how that revenue is generated, of how those sales have increased year on year and how those figures are broken down. Data visualization can analyze data from a multitude of data sources such as Oracle E-Business Suite, Oracle Cloud, Salesforce, SQL Server, Microsoft Access, Microsoft Excel, to name but a few. For this example, and for simplicity, I'm going to use data from 2 Excel spreadsheets. The first contains data associated with the sales revenue, and the second contains data regarding the customer locations. I'll start off by creating a project and telling data visualization the data sources I'm going to use, and in this particular example I'm going to use sample order lines and sample states. I'll start the story off by showing the total sales revenue for the 4-year period. I'm going to drag the sales figure onto the canvas, and you can see data visualization creates a simple bar chart, but I'm just going to change that and get it to display as a numeric value. I'm also just going to change the canvas layout because I want to get quite a few visualizations on this particular canvas. I'm also just going to change the property of this. I'm going to tell it it's a currency and also the type of currency. In this particular case it's GBP. Now just go down, select GBP. We can see here £8,500,000 revenue for the 4 years. Next, I want to visualize the revenue on a yearly basis. So to do that, I'm going to select the sales and the order year and then just drag that onto the canvas. And you can see it creates a simple bar chart. I'm just going to flip this around, have it as a vertical bar chart. So from 2013 up to 2016, the revenue for each one of those years. I'm also just going to add in a trend line as well. I just want to have a look at the trend of the revenue over that period there. And you can see I just created a little trend line on there. Now I want to see the revenue by customer, but because this particular company deals with a lot of customers, I'm going to restrict the visualization to the top 20 sales. Now to do that, I can create a calculation. Now I can either use some of the preceded functions, formulas Oracle have got here, so I can click on here over on the right hand side. I can have a look at these functions over here. Oracle tells me what this function is actually going to do, or if I know the calculation, as I do in this particular case, I can just create it myself over here on the left hand side. So I'm going to use the top end calculation. So it's going to be top 20 sales, drag the sales on here, top 20. I can validate that just to make sure it's right. Oracle's telling me that's right. I can save that, so I can now use the top 20 sales calculation I've just created on any of the data visualizations moving forward. So I'm going to grab hold of the sales figure, drop it onto the canvas. Over there. I want it by customer. So I can either drop it onto here, or if I want a little bit of control on the type of visualization it's going to create, I can drop it on here. So I'm just going to drop the customer name onto the y-axis. You can see straight away there are a lot of bars on there. Very difficult to see what's actually happening there. So I'm going to use the top 20 sales calculation I've just done. I'm just going to drop that on there. That's now narrowed it down to the top 20. This particular company deals with a number of products, and they've split those products into categories. So I'm just going to pull the categories over onto the canvas as well. You can see here it's actually created a colour scheme for the different types of category. In this particular case, I've got 3 types of category of furniture, office supplies and technology. And then I'm just going to sort this by high sales to low sales. And there we can see the top 20 sales by customer and broken down into product category. Next, I want to do some further analysis of the data, but this time at a profitability level. So I'm going to create another quick calculation, and this time it's going to be by profitability ratio. And this is a simple profit divided by sales. Again, I can just validate it and save that. Make some room on my canvas. So I'm going to bring in my sales figure again, drop it off onto the canvas. I'm now going to bring the product categories. I want to have a look at it from a product category point of view. And again, I'm just going to use this drop target and have a little bit more control over the type of visualization it's going to produce. So you can see over here, I just bring this onto the screen. And there. I'm going to use the profitability ratio I've just created. I'm just going to drop that onto the drop target as well. But I also want to have a look at the size of the profit I'm producing for each one of these categories. So I'm just going to bring the profit into the visualization as well. You can see the bars have actually changed in size. So the technology is showing quite high profits, 729,000 compared with furniture where it's only 156,000. But I also want to have a look at the product subcategories. I'm just going to bring the product subcategories over here and drop it off into the detail. You can see here now it's created some detail. And if I just hover over here on there, I can see in this particular one it is technology. But within technology there are a number of subcategories, and telephones and communications there. I can see on there that's actually office supplies, and that's binders and binder accessories. So I can see here the profitability ratio and the colour scheme. The darker the colour, the more profitable is that particular product versus the sales. And I can see here that's quite profitable. It's 0.35 ratio. But if I look at something here, it's actually quite low. It's 0.03 on there. Now I'm going to look at this particular visualization in a slightly different way. So I can just copy and paste this. I'm going to copy this visualization and paste it over here. And I want to have a look at it as a pie chart. So I'm just going to select pie chart on there. But I only want to have a look at a few of the product subcategories. So I've had a look on here. I can see the subcategories I want to have a look at. So I'm just going to filter this particular visualization. And I'm just going to use the product subcategories and drop it into the filter over here. So I'm going to filter this particular visualization over here. And I'm just going to select a couple of these subcategories I've noticed in my visualization above, which are the ones I'm interested in having a quick look at. So I'm going to have a look at office machines, and I'm also going to have a look at telephones and communication. Yeah, so you can see the visualization is changing. And I'm also just going to change the properties on this one. I'm just going to actually, instead of just having the values, I want to have the values and labels on there. And you can see on here it's changed it. I can now see a breakdown on this. Now the colour scheme's not brilliant, it's not easy on the eye. So because I've got full control on this one, I'm actually going to change the color scheme on here. I just want to change the color scheme on here and just make it red, stand out a little bit better. So you can see now that's changed the color scheme for the profitability ratio. Now, because I've used profitability ratio on this other visualization, it also changes that as well. So it actually shows you that all these visualizations are actually linked. Now, this particular company is a global company. So I may actually want to have a look at all these visualizations. I may want to split it down by order year first of all. So I can bring the order year up into this big filter bar over here, which actually is a general filter for all the visualizations on this particular canvas. You see on there, I can look at it on 2013. You can see there the figures are all changing. Look on there, that's changed now to 1.8 million. I can change that to 2016. On there, you can see 2016. The figures have actually changed. We've nearly doubled the sales revenue. Or I can just remove those filters and back to the full 4 years. I may also want to have a look at it from a continental level as well, so I can bring the continent field up into the filter, and I could filter, say, just for Europe, and again all the visualizations change on there. So that is a simple video on showing you how data visualization uses the different types of visualization data visualization has, and hopefully that gives you a pretty good understanding of how flexible data visualization is, and more importantly, how user friendly it is. Thank you for watching.